You know, I'm experiencing that like confirmation bias type moment where I've heard the term Micronesia the first time ever in my life. I think yesterday, and now this video. The only thing I know about Crisis is that it's like the game that runs on everything.
Autophidias graces.
Wow.
Thy bit of art.
They boot of art. They teeny weeny, minuscule atome of attempted artistic endeavors. I gotta finish this by tonight. I got a few hours. Like 2 or 3. Welcome, Gray. I hope you are well. Did you go watch Obsession yet?
Lihavul says.
Whoa.
Damn, that noise cancellation be working overtime tonight, LMAO.
What are you, oh, is it? I don't even know if I have it turned on for the microphone. I have it turned on for via vtuber. Filters, noise gate. See, I don't even have the noise suppression on. Now I have noise suppression on. La, 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 la. You know, I always hate how noise suppression also takes away all the high notes. Not like I sing all the time, but... What is the temperature? What am I surviving right now? Oh, I also have like the wrong nose gate.
It's no biggie, just when you talk it's half you and half HHHRRRMMMM in the background, LMAO.
I mean, is it still horrible? I could turn on the better noise gate or noise suppression. Okay, that was just me. So with the RN noise suppression, I need to sing with a lot of force to get it to catch it.
Lihavul says. WAOW way better.
Damn. Put it on the correct setting. Or enabling the more powerful setting gets me more powerful results. How crazy. So apparently it reached 88 degrees Fahrenheit today. A high of 31 Celsius. Tomorrow...
I would kill myself.
I just had to survive. No AC. So tomorrow we got a forecast of 90, low of 64, Tuesday 92, Wednesday 94, Thursday
Caesar
101.
Frederica says, hey Q, how was your week? Nova Dragon says. Vids. Caesar Frederica says. Attempts at art are good. We'll do our best not to distract you too much.
No, please
Caesar
do distract
says,
me.
So we are properly into summer, then. Lihavul says. Sobbing.
I don't stream to do art, I stream to talk to people. Art is just the one and only thing I have available to stream. I beg for your distraction. And I don't know, I'll try to make you know. Try to keep YouTube chat working, but I have no guarantees. You know this shit never wants to cooperate with me.
Caesar Frederica says. Okay, we will distract you, then. On a scale of 1 to 10, how much did you hate the new KH4 trailer?
Haven't even watched it. I didn't even know it was a thing until a lady at work, or, you know, a young woman at work who's also a KH fan mentioned it. But, like, when she saw that I had no idea what she was talking about, she was like, ah, fuck you. Considering I have not even played 3, like I said, I probably never will. I'll probably just freaking stop. Like, Kingdom Hearts as its existence.
Damn LMAO, I don't know, I thought it was Fian, I guess. Caesar Frederica says. I appreciate your full restraint.
Like, I have no interest in it. I hate the visuals so bad that, like, why am I gonna force myself to vomit?
Kingdom Hearts has passed its prime. Caesar Frederica says. I hope you somehow like it, despite everything.
I don't know. Yeah. When they can't even give me Final Fantasy VII style. You know, I love my Twink Cloud. Alright, it's time to be distracted in a different way. Cloud. I'm just gonna bring up a picture of Cloud. Look at this boy. Oh my goodness. He's so beautiful. Look at this. Look at this beautiful boy. Look at this man.
Caesar Frederica says. Lihavul, yeah, I think it's fine. I just know Q isn't into the post-birth by sleep style.
I mean, the thing is, I could be into the story. I hear Kingdom Hearts 3 like brings back my couple with the unwanted throuple, Zion, Axel, and Roxas. And then if Sora and Riku get their scenes.
Twinkie BOI.
Alright, and then I'm gonna look. Oh my fucking god! What the fuck is this? I just looked up Kingdom Hearts 4 Sora. This? This? What is this?
Lihavul says. No, that's 3.
That's even worse.
Lihavul says. I got you, BB.
I don't even have Discord open. Is this a really low quality picture. What the fuck is this? Wait, this one is a meme, but it looks okay. This is bad. Okay, I really hate every single part of this. I cannot describe how much I hate this. The nose, the eyes.
Caesar Frederica says. They're kind of giving the Axel/Syx shippers the lion's share of the screen time.
With the Roxas? I could, but if they're all ugly, then why would I want to look at them anyway? Okay, imagine this, okay? Imagine you really love uh actually I don't really understand how to do examples, but imagine imagine you really like Sonic and Amy as a couple, and then Sega comes out with a video that is just two really ugly hedgehog, like real life hedgehogs, and one is painted pink and one is painted blue. And they're just like, this is the trailer for our new movie. And you're like, well, I don't really want to see this. And then like halfway through the movie, the hedgehogs just start fucking, and you're like,
Livable
this is
says.
disgusting me.
Link.
Okay, thank you. Like, this is okay. I mean, if we're comparing to this, this is actually better than that. I, I still don't like it. You know, chat. You know who I like more than this?
Lihavel says. It surrenders the KH style entirely, which does the realism a favor, but I prefer the KH cartoony style, dash.
I prefer style at all. Like, I mean, we've discussed this. They let us try to avoid going into another year-long discussion regarding shareholders and fidelity and high resolution. Look at this. Look at Adrian.
Says. We have discussed this at length. Yes, LMAO.
It's like, if you know my feelings about this. Look at Adrian.
Says.
I love Adrian.
Look at the Lil Noir.
I love Chet so bad. Don't ask me about what has happened in the show. It got too meta.
Cesar Frederica says. The main thing is that I just can't tell it is KH at a glance.
I just want to look up more cat noir pictures now. Oh my goodness, look at him. Look at my boy. Yeah, it looks very...
Cesar Frederica says. I think me and Lihavel has discussed it, at length, separately.
Yeah, you'll just have to kind of like cross the wires and believe that you both understand my thoughts separately but together.
Lihavel says. Damn, what if Sarah Donald and Goofy went to France?
That would be cool. I know in Wonderland, in like one of the levels where maybe it's Dream Drop, maybe it's 3D. Maybe it's Dream Drop Distance. There is a.
Says. Oh yeah, they did LMAO.
No, well that was Big Ben.
Says. Dream Drop.
Maybe I think that was London because there was Big Ben. There was a boss battle at Big Ben, and it was Peter Pan World, Neverland.
Lihavel says. Neverland in KH1.
Okay, that was one. All right. Okay, so we got. Here's my philosophy on stylism.
Dream Drop was Notre Dame.
Yes, and that is France. Yeah, we talked about that. Okay. I would trade Cloud. I would trade Sora to get Cloud in a heartbeat. And think about their like design. I like the color of Cloud's eyes more. You cannot tell me they didn't just like go, look at this. You can't tell me whoever they got to do the design was like, okay, let me just reference Cloud. Look at these side bangs. The front bangs. Look at the other side bangs. His mouth is a little open. I wonder if the chin would match up more of his clothes, but... Cloud is superior in all ways. I am a full Cloud stan. This is uglier than everything. I'd rather gouge my eyes out than play this for 30 or 100 hours. This is peak. My boy.
Cesar Frederica says. I'll be honest, the KH3 realism worked fine in the Pirates of the Caribbean world.
This is beauty.
If it was just that world.
But it's interesting. You know what? Can we bring back having different styles for the different worlds? You know, one of my favorite icon or my favorite outfit designs is Sora in Halloween Before Christmas. Sora, Halloween Town. Can I get me some images? Because what I remember a lot is each world would have its unique costume, and Sora's health bar would change, you know, the icon would change depending on his health. You know, if it was really hurt or anything, and I just loved the Halloween Town one. It's like, Kingdom Hearts is beautiful because you look at those stained glass images and you're like, yes, we're here, it's this. How can you just abandon it all for soulless Unreal Engine slop?
Lihavel says. That's not really a style change as much as just an outfit change, but I would relate that more to a Timeless River or Toy Story worlds. I think it would greatly benefit if the design changes were more dramatic for specific worlds.
Yeah.
Lihavel says. Rumor has it the hyper-realistic look is a world, but I'll believe it when I see it.
Like, it would be cool, like, if certain worlds have certain styles. There was another Pirates of the Caribbean world. Did I play through it is the question. I don't remember if I'm remembering it from seeing some gameplay of the third one, or if it was in one of the previous ones. Like, it's okay to be more realistic there, and have a different style in other worlds, depending on the original art style. It's like, there's so much exploration, there's so much potential for creative exploration. And they're just like me. I mean, I could certainly hope. But can I even? Should I even? Do I even dare to dream?
Cesar Frederica says. They do that for Toy Story and just that one really. Cesar Frederica says. I'm really hoping the realism in the trailers is just for the Quadratum world. Lihavel says. KH2 Caribbean was just a saturation change, KH3 was a full outfit change. Cesar Frederica says. The thing is with the KH4 trailer is, they are still trying to do the big eyes/heads thing, but it ends up clashing.
'Tis a shame and 'tis a sadness. Look at my boy.
Cesar Frederica says. We can only dream, the true KH fans are secretly in charge.
Ew, normal
says. And Sara's normal-sized feet SMH.
Look, I don't even know. Are the real fans any more sane? Don't. Real fans can ruin things just as badly as anyone else. Plus, I wouldn't even call myself a real fan. I'm just an artistically autistic weirdo. I'm just me. Like, I'm happy enough with everything so blocky. I get to just imagine.
Says. Whoa, twinning 333.
Like, can I give another example? BioShock Little Sisters gameplay versus cutscene. this issue.
Cesar Frederica says,
Oh.
no, I guarantee the real KH fans are even more unhinged than average.
See, I have a like moral issue with how the little sisters in BioShock are shown in the cutscenes versus the gameplay. And it's just like another example of how I feel always, in general, for every situation. Just make them the same. I think it was way more common back in the day. You know, the cutscenes would be pre-rendered and very more detailed than the actual gameplay. And I hated it. Just make everything at the same level of bad. Because when it's not, I'm annoyed. Me personally, it's just me. I'm annoyed. I would rather everything be consistent. Everything be consistently low quality than everything be janky at different moments. And I can't bring up a very good visual. I don't know. I might have to bring up a video. Uh, ah. Okay, I know what I'll do. I'll bring up a video. I'll bring up two videos. I just have to freaking make sense. Okay, yeah, okay. This should show it well. I know we're talking about Kingdom Hearts, and now suddenly I want to just talk about Bioshock, but I don't know if if you'll be able to see it.
Lihavul says. Goddamn paragraph subtitle LMAO.
I don't mind. Say more. Okay, this is how they look in the game. It's like yes, it's terrifying, but this is how they look in the game.
Cesar Frederica says. I'll be honest, I've only seen Bioshock, never played it. But, Bioshock 1 always felt a little more inspired.
I really like the Bioshock series. Like, my only goal here is to show the little sisters. So. It came from an era where everything was so creative.
Says, Bioshock 2 seems a little too on the nose.
Honestly, I just really enjoyed them both. Bioshock 2, I actually like the protagonist of Bioshock 2 more. But it also has to do with that song that I played for you. That song I played for you was about Bioshock 2. So like the main character was someone who was like a deep diver, some kind of explorer. He accidentally came across Rapture, and they couldn't let him leave, so they turned him to a Big Daddy. He was connected with the little sister, and you gotta remember, like, okay, Big Daddies are basically like brainwashed into being protective over their little sisters, which are more like their daughters. But the little sister characters are called little sisters. Anyway, the little sisters are also like chemically brainwashed into becoming atom collecting machines, and the Big Daddies are their bodyguards that carry them around and protect them while they're collecting atom. But anyway, so the two had like a chemically induced father-daughter connection. But then I think the actual
Cesar
daughter
says. 2 has highlights. The characters actually seem cooler, it's just the setting I find a little questionable.
I don't. These days, a lot of people are like, "Oh, we're going back to the same place." To me, it's cool. I mean, it shows that in the first, like, even though the first game happened, it did not save everyone. I don't think. I don't know if it saved anyone, except those little sisters he saved. Then, I really like the concept. I like. I like it.
Cesar Frederica says. Don't you hate those chemically induced connections?
Even though I'm like book crafting a story that's all about breaking, like a father. No, yeah, that's kind of interesting. The story I have in my mind is legit. It's about a father trying to force a father-son connection.
Says, fair point. We really saved like 4 people in the best ending.
Sometimes it's not about the ones you save, but the journey you had along the way. But it's kind of funny. So yes, I do. Well, at least the characters in my imagination, and I don't even want to call it a story or a book. It's all in my mind, and it might probably never get written. But to put it into words, the story that is in my mind has characters that are actively trying to fight against being forced into bonds chemically. Says,
in all seriousness, I have found yet more angsty stories with those themes.
I don't know. Reading too many Korean manhwa has put me against angst in such a bad way. It's like if I get a hint that his plot is gonna go angsty, I'm like, do I want to put myself through this? Oh my god. Like every fucking manhwa has to start with rape and it has to like build its way back up, and I'm like, can we just not? And betrayal and injury and miscarriage and why can't y'all just be normal? Like there was once a story where after the main plotline, the author just went back and they did a second season where it was just a story from the beginning if there was no cringe angst, and everyone was like, what the fuck is this? It's like an alternate timeline where there's no misunderstandings, no assault. This is beautiful, it's wonderful, and sure, the main character has to go kill some guys, but it's beautiful. I want this forever. This is a dream. Reading every chapter felt like I was walking on clouds. Never again. I mean, I haven't even finished that one. Oh, I see you like sent it to me via the Twitch chat system. I didn't even know that was a thing still. I just want to get to the cutscenes with the little girls. Oh, okay, they're right here. Just watch them. Watch their terrible fates. They just look so weird.
Cesar Frederica says.
Well, actually,
the classic Goblin Slayer problem. The horrifying first episode puts everyone else off.
You didn't really get to see it well, and you're like.
Cesar Frederica
okay,
says.
Here, this is the really bad
Twitch
one.
Hat.
Twitch has a chat.
Cesar
this is
Frederica
the horrible
says.
thing.
NVM.
There's this is like even in the scene like right before this where they were attacking the guy, it was okay. But this is the scene that like was like, what the fuck am I looking at? Why couldn't this be? I don't know. The more you think about it, the more that a lot of the different. Whoops! I just exited out of YouTube. The different plots revolve around the little sisters. I don't know. I will always. I like found family quite a lot. But okay, the concept of Bioshock 2 is not that the chemically induced relationships are good, but it's that even if you come to love someone, even through strange circumstances, you can choose to still fight for them, want to rescue them, and want to guide their growth. And if I remember correctly, so Eleanor Lamb is the mother of the little sister. She kills you in the beginning to do so. I think the way it was like, you think that's your father. Take off the helmet. Look what the monster is, and then she shot you in the head. And then in the future, that little sister becomes, what do they call them? A big sister. Nah, when she becomes a big sister and puts on the suit and like helps you like attack, that's really cool. I don't know. Found family is a really powerful theme for me. I really like it because she was
Cesar Frederick
conscious. She
says,
chose.
okay, I will avoid raising the specter of the Steven Universe fandom, but one thing that made it work was Pearl having this dynamic.
I don't know enough. All I know is that Pearl really loved rose quartz. I say rose quartz, knowing that there is probably also a character called Rose Diamond, which might not be, might be an enemy, might be something else. I don't. Okay, let me. I shouldn't worry about my playlist because I'm doing work. I'm gonna be hard at work. I need to work. I need to finish this job. So,
Cesar Frederica says, yes, she did. But also, Pearl was built to love rose quartz.
you see, okay, because I read so many of these like faded lovers type stories, it kind of goes into a theme of, okay, look, you were made to love this person. Is it really? You could choose to fight against it with all your being, or you could just.
Cesar
Is
Frederica
it?
says, she was a servant type gem,
Mm.
which we don't learn until late in the series, but was set up in the beginning.
She was a slave, but she overcame her binds or bonds. Wonder what cut. What's this? The purple one. What was she? And not the purple lesbian one. Not the big black purple one. The pudgy purple one. No. I want to say it starts with an R. No. Let's start with an S.
Cesar
I'll
Frederica
remember.
says,
Amethyst.
amethyst.
Yes. What's weird is when I think of amethysts, don't you usually think of the color green? The reason I'm erasing all of this is so that I can copy and paste it. You know what I hate? I hope that the last generations of phones don't go up in price. For example, I was looking at a like 2 to 3 year old Samsung Galaxy model. I wanted a like S24.
Lihavel says. I need my outdated $100 phones.
I'm being yes. Because, you know, my current one is a 2018 Note 9.
Lihavel says. My current outdated phone is a 2021.
Yeah, like, I can't use mine for anything that requires, like, a secure whatever. Don't let me download a lot of apps. I can still get to what I need through, like, the browser, which is fine.
Lihavel says. My bank doesn't work on it anymore, yeah, LMAO.
Yeah, but I mean, you can... It's not the end of the world. Because I can still go on, like, you know, Chrome or Brave and get to the bank site. But I do.
Lihavel says. But yeah, it's totally fine.
For me, it's a... I don't... I guess the most annoying thing is, like, the battery is pretty meh. I get a lot of the same issue I got with my iPhone 6 before I retired it, which is when I try to select files, it starts glitching out, and I'll be trying to, like, send something to Discord, it just won't work.
Cesar Frederica says. Regardless, Pearl basically follows the same themes you touched on. She was a leading part of the Gem Rebellion, but couldn't, or rather didn't want to, shake the built-in devotion to her leader. Lihavel says. My battery is meh, yeah, I just wanna make sure I have a replacement in the event that it super dies, so I still have a backup too fa.
Yeah. Always make sure to... I mean, I know you probably do, but I always make sure to back up those codes every few months, or like weeks. Like whenever I think, like what happens? I just back them up again. I'm just messing around. I'm not making anything better, I'm just playing. Weird too. But I was thinking about getting an S24, and people are still selling them for like between like
Lihavel
3 to
says.
500.
Because right now if I lose this phone, I'm locked out of like 8 different finances.
Ouchie. It's not fun.
Cesar Frederica says. So, instead of giving it up, she reconciled it with the human idea of chivalry and knighthood, willing service, learning to sword fight which she wasn't supposed to know. This mostly worked.
I mean, seems like a good compromise to me. I mean, I guess it like wasn't Rose Quartz also. So Rose Quartz was also in favor of the rebellion. Pearl and Rose Quartz worked together. Pearl was just conflicted about, even though she wanted to be part of this rebellion, she was also still subservient. That I'm understanding. At least she's subservient to someone who's on the right side. Could have been worse. Okay, with this ready, I should be able to get this done in a pretty fast manner.
Cesar Frederica says. Yeah, Rose lead the rebellion. Pearl was just sort of doubting, am I really free if I'm compulsively doing the same thing? It's one of those means vs ends thing.
I'd say, don't worry. Worry less, do more. That was bad.
Caesar Frederica says. I'm not doing this justice, but it was something the Steven Universe writers actually did well. Unfortunately, the imitators did not take from the best parts of the series.
Yeah, like you mentioned before, they seem to take maybe the parts that maybe were easy to understand as being good, but forgetting about the more subtle things that really brought everything together. Like, a lot of things require build up and payoff.
Caesar Frederica says. Yeah. Exactly.
Like, imagine if I gave you Shadow the Hedgehog, but then we just got all the good parts, the cool parts without all the trauma, and like he's edgy, but is it? If you don't know the background of why, it's not as satisfying altogether.
Lihavel says.
I am.
I am. I am all of me.
Here we go, buddy. Do it. Can you see all of me? Walk into my misery. Step inside, hold on for dear life. Do you remember me? Capture you and set you free. I am all of me. I am. Here we go. I am everyone, everything, everywhere, everything. I am. Wow, I did on the wrong one. Do it, do it, do it, do it.
Lihavel says. You're so hot RN.
I am.
Caesar
I'm
Frederica
pretty
says.
heated.
Exactly. They just pick up gay aliens, the exactly same way they just see Shadow as angsty hedgehog. Caesar Frederica says. And forget the character work backing it up.
I mean, there's way more examples I could give. Like, if I had the brain to think about it. All right, Generator Rex. On one hand, wow, he's got cool powers. He can turn his body into different machine parts. That's, I guess, the payoff. The payoff of the episodes is him turning into cool machine parts and defeating the big enemy. The build up and what makes it worth it is a different character shit that happens, different plot shit that happens. Learning about his brother, his parents, everything that was sacrificed.
Says, Generator Rex is a great example of, seems cool but, actually horrifying.
I love it. I love that show so bad. Yeah, but one of the other than the fact, okay, that it's over and that's sad, there was some really deep concepts, I feel. But one of the worst things that I don't ever understand why they did it is that Agent 6 was his father figure, right? Basically his keeper. The Generator Rex Wrangler. And it's so gradually he becomes like a really important, like emotional figure. He loves him like a son. He loves Rex like a son. He picked him up as a little kid in the middle of wreckage during a mission. Blah 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 blah. Like there's so much interesting build up. You learn about them, and then they just make him lose his memory. And then, even though he lost his memory, he's like, I may not understand who you are to me, but like I will continue to do my best for you. And it's like, okay, that never happened. He was like less emotional. I wonder if the actor was like, I don't want to be this guy. I don't want to be this kid's dad. Can we like fix my character? I want to. I want to be back. I want to be cool, emotionless spy dude. And the author was like, what? how am I gonna explain this? You're like his father. You love this boy. No, agents don't love. That's just like my one of the worst things in that show to me. And also, there's this like one girl character who she has a portal. She has a cool portal power, and there's like some interpersonal drama with her and Rex. Or I don't remember if it's the same character. There's another either the same girl or another girl character who like her mouth turns into a weird siren, and she like it's crazy. Okay, uh, that whole thing is just whack. I still love the show though, but it's to put it simply, it's like if you just skip to the last episode of Lost. That's what it's like if you're an author, you're a writer for one of these shows, and you don't understand
Cesar
build up,
Frederica says,
payoff.
I remember when we find out why 6 is called 6.
Now I don't remember.
Cesar Frederica says,
Right.
6th deadliest man in the world.
I'm glad you remember. I was about to freaking look it up so I didn't look like a faker. I mean, that dude is too loving. No, I just want to rewatch Generator Rex. And I guess it's interesting. I was never a Ben 10 kid. They had a crossover episode somewhere, somehow, in some universe. I'm pretty sure it was Rex that crossed over into Ben 10 and not the other way. Because they were, first off, Rex is older than Ben 10. And I just like the Rex's story way more. Unbelievably way more. Like, leaps and bounds way more. I don't like Monster of the Week. I want the plot line of Generator X. See, I love things with a cohesive plot line. Even Psych. I really love the story Psych. My favorite episode is when Sean gets freaking shot and kidnapped. Can you tell I'm just a really bad person?
Cesar Frederica says, they do this in Korra, twice.
Don't.
Once literally,
You're not imagining.
in season 2, and once figuratively, season 4.
Do not mention that to me. Do not mention such a thing. Such a thing does not exist. Speak not your blasphemous words. I would prefer to not listen. Aang is the last avatar.
Lihavel says, damn, I didn't know Korra was so shit.
So shit. I would rather... We're building the tier list. I would rather play through Kingdom Hearts 3 than ever acknowledge the existence of Korra. Who doesn't exist.
Cesar Frederica says, apologies Elrond, but I must quote the old tongue. The first season was really good, nice, compact, self-contained.
Even I liked the first. Even I could enjoy the first season. Like big fluffy
Cesar
dog.
Frederica says, then they ran out of ideas and literally reset everything by giving her amnesia.
I didn't even know that. I did not know that happened. It's like, not only was like the general plot, the overarching plot, like, utterly meaningless, they retconned a lot of the cool world building of the bending. They had that whole like weird spirit realm story that just tore everything anyone ever loved and appreciated into little tiny bits. Earthbenders, they didn't learn from the drilling moles, no. It all came from some weirdo spirit realm, I don't fucking know. I don't care. Nothing will ever beat my Zuko. Man, I haven't even watched the leaked movie. I just don't care. But Zuko, Emperor Zuko. If you know, you know. I love me a long-haired man, to say the least.
Caesar Frederica says. Yeah, they sort of do. The backstory was fine. As broken bits and legends. But, they do way too much showing and it kills every mystery in the setting.
Oh, we need some filler episodes. Let's like fill in and explain every mystical, cool little element of our whole entire. No, we don't need to explain everything. It's just like, what is it that just Shadow of the Colossus, Guardian, no, the one with the big animal. There's a lot of stories where you don't need to explain everything. Can you just shut up and show me the thing and let me have thoughts? I promise, my thoughts will not kill your game. So if you just let me think and enjoy. Remember, I still have to finish this freaking drawing. Right? Where am I stuck at? I'm stuck at the part where I do things. I'll go back and fill in side letters after it's all done.
Caesar Frederica says. If they just did it in the style of Ruby's World of Remnant, with shadow puppets and lots of ambiguity.
We need some filler. Oh, look, we got some chibi characters. Let's have some weird, dreamy explanations for different shit, but none of it's canon. Nah, I wouldn't even do that. People would believe it. Let us not contemplate the perspective issues present. Got to keep one virgin version of this. Excuse me. I'm alive. I've had like the most annoying itch in my throat.
Lihavul says. Achuo.
Yeah, to me. Everything is in its place. I'm just lost in my messy freaking everything here. It doesn't gotta be perfect. It just got to work. Look, when you got trillions, all you get to do is fantasize about the end of the world. I have a better video. So MLMs. My least favorite meaning of the acronym MLM. But I bet you that Medifast does not sell
Cesar Frederica
fasting.
says. To be fair, Ruby did the exact same problem. They had a really cool creation story, with Crow telling stories using shadows by the fire. And then they just blurred it all out in full color 2 season.
Think of all the production value they could have saved. Like if they didn't
Cesar
blur it
Frederica
out.
says. Later.
Like I don't know. I legitimately know so little about script writing. I just can't figure out. I wouldn't be able to figure out. You paid me $1 million, why they would do that.
Cesar Frederica says. Yeah, there were so many models and locations they only ever used once.
You know what makes Wildcrats amazing? They go to the same freaking places. Every other episode. There's the turtle. There's the inside the turtle. They go to a forest. There's the villain base. There's that one villain's restaurant. Ocean, forest, desert. Ocean, forest, desert, river. Ocean, forest, desert, island. Forest, 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 forest,
Liverpool
forest,
says.
forest.
I'm sorry, did you say incest turtle?
Sorry, inside the turtle?
Says. That's true. I was watching a lot of sci-fi shows, and they managed to keep the main series really interesting. Liverpool says. What the fuck is Ruby about?
The power of friendship.
Oh, okay, goddamn.
What, did you like just look up Ruby and go, what the fuck is this shit? You know what I would wish? I wish Ruby had more of a fairy tale connection. Because you always get...
says. No, I heard incest turtle.
Oh, okay. I mean, I could be slurring my words that bad. You know how sometimes
I wanted it to be fairy tale sobbing.
That is maybe what disappoints me the most about Ruby. There are so many tiny little connections to fairy tales. And you think, well, I just want to make it all connect. I just want it to fit together like a little puzzle. But it
says. The red and white trailers were amazing and I was sold. Then I watched episode 1 and I was like, oh.
It hurts so bad.
Liverpool says. I stuck around for 3 seasons and just dropped it hard.
I watched just to see my favorite drunk daddy. I don't even, you know who it is. If you don't know who it is, then you don't need to know who it is. I can't tell you shit about any of the important things about this story.
Cesar Frederica says. Ruby is basically a really cool animator wanted to throw all his favorite anime/game characters in, hidden under an anime skin.
And then he died. See, now this is unproven and very false, but I still find it very funny to imagine that he died because of his wife's cat.
Under a fairy tale skin.
I was watching one like very trolly synopsis of like the whole drama with the creator, and it was like, and his wife was a bitch, and she like even though she knew he was like deathly allergic to cats, she still got one, and that's what caused his death. Like, there's no proof. This is very alleged. It's very false, probably, you know. I still find it funny. I still find it weird how they had like an anime remake, like an anime styled adaptation, and I'm pretty sure I showed it on stream and showed how much I hate it. Just like really, really hate it.
Liverpool says. Oh yeah, I forgot about that yet.
To me, you know, I would rather something not exist than exist badly. I was not happy. I mean, do I even have a right to be unhappy? It's not like I'm paying shit.
I've been randomly remembering obscure one-shot anime shit.
I once tried to watch like some random detective Sherlock anime. It was like so weird.
Remember that one time Supernatural got one anime season?
Yeah, I did not remember. But you know what I do remember? I remember the Wolverine anime. And I remember the Tony
Cesar
Stark as a
Frederica says.
teenager.
There was a guy who crashed out right afterwards, saying the studio was messing everything up behind the scenes. No one believed him. At the time.
When will we ever learn? Supernatural anime. Also, Leah, don't stay up past your bedtime. Let's see. Supernatural, the animation, 2011. Ew. I don't know. You know how I am with judging character in art. What am I looking at? What? Okay. This could be just a bad promo image. Why is someone saying Supernatural's anime adaptation deserves
Cesar
more
Frederica
recognition?
Says. Anyway, want to add anime adaptations.
One. Deserves more recognition after it got Freer and Beyond Journey's End animation studio. So apparently they're saying that because the Supernatural animation at the same studio.
I was thinking of another one just a few days ago, but I forger.
Anyway, everyone should watch Get Backers. Get Backers is beautiful and precious. It is the best bad anime you will ever watch. You will not regret it. How can you regret following the antics of Genji Yamano and Ben Midao? How can you regret this? You could never regret this. Bon Mito, he has a snake grip, and he has the snake eyes. Trap you in a dream. You got the Lightning Emperor, Genji. I don't know. Fled from Babylon Tower. Babylon Tower arc is one of my faves. Mostly because Bond gets hurt. And he hides it. Because he can't let Genji worry about him.
Cesar Frederica says. I will say, those old anime covers were actually pretty good. Lihavul says. This is so late 90s.
It's good, it's good. You gotta watch this shit. If I remember, there was even this is like official. This is an image for like the actual artist. This is like making fan art for your own creation. I'm not even gonna zoom out. What the fuck?
Lihavul says. 99-07 nailed it. Lihavul says. Oh my god LMAO.
Can you can't even publish
Cesar
it under a
Frederica
fan
says,
name or something?
I only just recently found out that the FMA author is still around, and making a very popular new show.
I think I heard about it and didn't care enough for the art. Look, this guy is the original Gojo. This guy is even cooler than Gojo. Look at, he has a chibi figure. I didn't know this show was popular enough to get a chibi figure. I want this chibi figure. Or is this like an AI thing? Okay, it's a 3D model someone has made and uploaded to a website. I thought I was like the one and only fan. I know I can't be the one and only fan, but it's definitely one of those anime where it's like, you mention it and no one knows what you're talking about. There was a PlayStation 2 game? Alright, I don't know what I'm playing. A total of 5 video games.
Looks like it's now game night.
Oh, okay. It can't be today game, but it apparently there are 5 video games been released in Japan. The first was a fighting game, Get Becker's Dakanoku, Uba Wareta Bugenshiro. Then there was in 2003 Game Boy Advance. There was an RPG.
They always have one or two that never come to the West.
I don't want to have to learn Japanese for this. Can I get an emulator, like an AI translator tool? Because there was a PC exclusive RPG, Get Backers, Dakanoku, Metropolis Dakan Sakosen. And there were 2 more fighting games.
Lihavel says. There's probably a fan patch somewhere out there, let's be real. Cesar Fredericus says. Like that one 1800s Ace Attorney game.
Look at the images for this one. Look how beautiful this is. Okay. I want this as a poster. Okay, I know it's really low quality. There's Bond. There's Genji. There's Bond's sister. And like this, I love this guy. You can't really tell who he is, but this guy is like the Beastmaster. We do even have a cross-dresser in the show. It's probably this guy here. Then we got the mysterious cafe owner who gets strange things done. And then we got like the mission procurer. The lady who has all the connections. Can I get a higher quality version of this, please? Like, boy, I wanna... If I could have a poster hanging on my wall. Whoa, is it even in 3D? No. If I put English at the end of my search.
Master Shake M1G says.
Wow.
It.
Hello.
Lihavel says. It.
Let's see. Role-playing game. It was released in 2003. Single player. No comments. No information. Released in Japan only. In this second Game Boy Advance installment of the manga-based video game series Get Backers, follow Genji, who can shoot bolts of lightning, and Bond, who has a Jagan that grants him the ability of clairvoyance, and as they try to stay in business as well as alive, recovering lost and stolen items in Shinjuku, Japan. And then archive.rpggamer.net. No logo. No information. No screenshots, no art, no news. GameSpot page. There's a guide and a walkthrough.
Master Shake M1G says. Do you play Dandy's World or Animal Hospital?
No, I've never heard of these games. I do play Tokyo Jungle.
Cesar Fredericus says. Oh, found a name.
Demons.
Full Metal Alchemist author is now writing Demons of the Shadow Realm. Which is basically Chainsaw Man with the misanthropy.
I need to look up the word misanthropy. Misanthropy. Hatred or mistrust of humankind. I don't know. I'll pick it up in like 5 to 10 years after version 1 and version 2 have been made.
Master Shake M1G says. I used to watch your streams all the time when you were a potato, smiley face.
Oh, look, you learn more about Bond in the game than you do in the freaking show. Apparently he is a quarter German. I'm learning this reading the guide for the game. Okay, like, how many... Do I have to click load game? Wait.
Cesar Fredericus says. I am a little disappointed Get Backers isn't a real manga. I'd have read it all
It's not?
already, if it was. Cesar Frederica
What
says.
do you mean it's not though? Like
the style is quite good.
Like in the Wikipedia pages and the different pages that people have been mentioning. Okay, I found the game on a website that lets me just play GBA games. Well, it's in Japanese.
Lihavel says. Apparently it was only in a magazine, never a standalone release.
There's animations in this game and all the characters. Okay, well, actually, I should just show this
Cesar Frederica says. Oh, never mind, it is a manga. It's just the game is more well known.
Let me see. We played it in English. Q&A. There are no Q&As. No one has asked a question about this game. Alright. I know what I have to do. It's not that part. I just have to download or install some kind of screen-wide AI translator tool. Well, it says new game and load. What do you think? Is this in English or not? Like, I can't tell if some things are... Okay, I don't think I can play it through my keyboard.
Says, you are single-handedly recovering this piece of media.
I mean, the piece of media was here on this website. Okay, what are the buttons? Act 1, okay.
Time to brush up on your Japanese 3.
I bet I could figure it out. Oh, look at this.
Lihavel says.
He looks like...
LMAO, I love this.
You guys can't even see what I'm doing. I'm sorry. Honky tonk. Okay, I'm just gonna take a screenshot of this one. Ah, I know what I have to do.
Lihavel says. No, but I love that you're having a great time.
Look, there's Bond. And Kichi is in a freaking Legend of Zelda Link outfit. This fucking dork. There has to be some kind of extension for Brave, right? Where I could just like have it. Well, I don't. It's not like rendered text. Can I ask?
Lihavel says. I'm led to assume this is in character for him.
I don't know what he's saying, but he's definitely the type of guy that would go honk tonk. I have never once seen him in the anime wear a hat. That's why that fan art was also kind of funny, because you know how many times they've tried to draw his hair? I really don't know how many times, and that's okay. But anyway. Okay, would it be worth playing if I was taking screenshots and getting translations? Like, step by step? How do I even control this thing? Okay, I'll stop.
Lihavel
I'll
says.
just bookmark this.
Only you can answer that question, LMAO.
I don't know how to answer. I don't know how to do anything. Let me just ask AI really quick. Okay. Quad haiku. Is there a way to play this game in English? I'll search for information about this game and English language options. Unfortunately, Get Back Our Lab was released only in Japan and never received an official English localization. There may be fan-created English patches, but where would I find them? It just says, if you're set on playing the specific game, your best bet would be to search on ROM hacking forums or fan translation communities. So you're just telling me to go suck a dick. You're telling me to go suck. You're telling me to sit and spin. That's what I'm understanding. If we think about it, it's not like I'm gonna die without the plot line, but just... Genji. Genji. Oh, how I love you so. It is such a cute story. Right, the story of Get Backers. These two buddies, they run a recovery business. You've lost something, they can find it for you. And you think, okay, well, I mean, how could that be a setup for a highly interesting 40-so episodes of anime? Well, they got superpowers. But it's my favorite type of superpower. It's that, so slight that you could almost believe it type of superpower.
Livable says. You could say they get things back.
Absolutely. Yes. They, not only do they get things back, there are also episodes where they have to battle against transport teams. Like, they're a recovery service, but there are also transport and like they have really cool names for all the different agencies, but they have an anti-recovery service. If I remember correctly, there's this one episode which is a fascinating mission that ends with a hilarious joke where they are contracted to steal an item, but that was already the item had been stolen, so they were there to get it back, re-steal it. And like the villains of the episode were a poison master who trained herself to become immune to her own poisons. Not totally immune, so she still suffers a lot while she uses them. Or like they're actually like fragrances. I don't know how that would be hence that caused
Shirison says.
problems.
Shirison says.
Still on the boggle.
Boggle.
Waddle. What I like is that everyone's powers, once explained, are very, very steady. No one ever gets new fucking powers.
Orgle.
And that's fine. You know what? No one needs new powers. No one needs to level up. No one needs to, like, evolve. Everything is very steady. E and Q is what I decided for the letters there. Oh no. Fragrance lady. She has the same poison fragrances the entire show. One of them lets her breathe fire. One of them turns whoever breathes in the scent into their basal form, so most people like start acting like monkeys. I think one is like her super secret super weapon is like a very deadly one. Or something dramatic that hurts her a lot when she uses it, which is the whole. What's another interesting letter? I have not used D. But my favorite character, other than the Red Master Kazuki, I bet you I remembered his name right. He's a doll. You go to sleep. That's okay. Thank you so much for coming by. I appreciate your existence.
Cesar Frederica says. They're unthieves. They unsteal. Cesar Frederica says. I'm afraid I'll have to get going. Doing my best to resist adding to the list of media recommendations I gave you last time. Lihaful says. I appreciate your existence more fuckface.
Now you go fix your life so that everyone's
Cesar
existence
Frederica
may be
says.
appreciated.
I'd usually stay for the long haul, but I've got something in the morning.
Well, I really appreciate you coming by. Thank you so much for chatting up. And I hope whatever you have in the morning goes amazingly. Don't feel bad about leaving. Feel amazing that you made me feel very happy for being here. It's all the cheesy words I will say. Ooh, what's a quote? No, I was writing down some interesting quotes, philosophy quotes. No
Shirison
problem.
Says, stinky cheese words.
This one is funny.
Shirison
No
says,
problem is so big and difficult that it can't be blamed on somebody else. That is all. Next, what is that one? Then I'm done. Well, then it's just a matter of cleaning up the liner a little bit. Like, I don't want to do it too much. But maybe we'll just clean up the face liner and leave everything else a little blurry. Can't do much. I'm weak. I'm being paid pretty fairly for this one, but I just, hey, what can I say?
Cesar Frederica says. Have a good rest of stream and a good night to L on Twitch. Cesar Frederica says.
Now YouTube decided to die.
I'll have to hear more of these quotes.
I have a lot of them. I've been
Cesar
collecting
Frederica
them.
says. Words many live by, for better or worse.
I mean, okay, it is not the best life philosophy. This one is more of a joke. Don't try to think on it. Don't try to integrate it into your life. Another one is extreme remedies are appropriate for extreme diseases. Like, I won't keep. I have like 3 pages of quotes that I like. Back to a video about MLMs. I try to do this. Sounds like some crazy drugs. Oh, great. Put them on the wrong layer. It's not like it's important. It's annoying to remember there are only 26 letters.
Says, hello.
Hello. How are you doing tonight? It makes me want to like make up letters. How come there's only 26 options? E that many times. There's like a shake place that has a weird name, and I'm convinced it's a Herbalife front near me. I've done J even once. Who uses J in a word?
The Fortnite God 1234 says. That character looks like Zoinky the furry, geometry dash reference.
Geometry Dash is crazy. How can a fandom be part of, like, how can there be a community around a game, and that community, like, does AI generated CSAM? It's crazy. I'm not even gonna explain the story. It's absolutely nuts.
Shirison says. Wait, what LMAO?
I am not even joking. There was like some drama
The
where
Fortnite God 1234 says. Zoink is the best player and his alter ego looks exactly like that fox thing. Shirison says. Gross LMAO.
oh yes, it's very gross. There's like a lot of ways. Like I say, CSAM purposely. It wasn't they? This person didn't just generate AI generated pornography. He did it of meaners. Anyway, fandoms of everything are just absolutely nuts. Be part of fandoms. Embrace. I don't know this person, but very cool. I just want to put X on all of them.
The Fortnite God 1234 says. Is that a 36% keyboard it's holding there?
No. It's a boggle set. You need a. If you have not watched King of the Hill, you need to watch King of the Hill. You need to look up King of the Hill boggle episode. Right, I don't think I've used B. It's a game where you have this thing, you have this tray, right?
The Fortnite God 1234 says. It looks like a dice tray too.
The point is you have this tray, and then it usually has this clear cover on it. And then you shake it, and it's very satisfying to see how it shakes. It's very cool. And then once you put it down and all the letters are in their places, you have to start writing all the words that you can make with the letters. That's it.
The Fortnite God 1234 says. Oh, I've heard of that.
It's a cool game. I think it's funner than Scrabble. Let me tell you, the economics of MLMs are that they're really, really bad. Oh, that reminds me. I was looking at a house, and it had a solar panel. And it was a solar panel by Solar City, a company that failed. And Tesla bought it. Okay, that's done. Now it's just everything else.
The Fortnite God 1234 says. I've been getting into making EDM music. One of my biggest inspirations is krieoh. He actually made my favorite EDM song, Ripples to Waves.
Yeah. I mean, that's really cool that you can have an inspiration, you have someone you look up to, and that he has inspired you to create things. I wish you the best of luck. I've never heard of those things though. I'm gonna start merging some layers. Let's see. Alright, I was thinking of cleaning up the eyes. You know, it's kind of crazy where when the item is actually of good quality, you might actually be able to have a business around it without going through all these issues or all these legal problems.
The Fortnite God 1234 says. Hang on, BRB, I'm gonna change my username, tried of this one.
But it does really show a certain level of age. I'm curious as to what your name might be when you're back.
The Fortnite God 1234 says. I was 8 when I made this.
It's very fitting. No, I could imagine a very adorable story. I hope you were great at Fortnite. When I first tried to play Fortnite, it didn't run very well on my laptop. I think I was surprised that it even opened. And then, of course, I died. Because I suck at games. And I was like, you know what? This is not for me. Now it's almost like a Roblox. I've not played it since. Yeah, maybe I should, but I don't think it would run now. I mean, it probably would. I'm sure it's a very well optimized game so that it can run on everything and anything. I want to just merge a lot of things.
Future 2K10 says. I'm back with a new name.
Why do I feel like it's inspired by the baseball game somehow? But welcome back. I'm just here drawing my cat. Tell me there's a limit to what I can sell.
Future 2K10 says. I'm back as Future 2K10 now.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Maybe it's really delayed, but yes, I know. Welcome back. I wonder what the meaning of it is. Like, I know I'll regret it if I merge it, but too bad. But I could also. I could merge the shadows.
Future 2K10 says. I never was RLY good at drawing in a sense, but I had ideas that would give me comic of the year and author of the year.
I mean, having those ideas is really good. I am not an idea person. Creativity, philosophy, a lot of good things come from having ideas. I've always been the type of person to stare at the blank page for a long time. Never think of poses a lot, or I always want to draw something unique, but I never know what. How. I don't even know if the video is playing on YouTube.
Top sellers got to attend a glamorous convention at
It might be
HQ
playing
where they
now,
were
but
awarded mink coats,
depends on
diamonds,
how
and
YouTube
keys
wants
to
to
new
do it.
cars. The company would also bury televisions, washing machines, and jewelry in a field, and then hand the best sellers a shovel to dig out their prizes in front of a cheering crowd. All of this success was filmed and publicized by design to remind the rest of the sales force that they too could make it there with enough hustle and volume. In short, Tupperware staged the spectacle, materialized the carrots, and let peer pressure and jealousy do the rest. The fifth sign of an MLM is relentless expansion. The only way to keep the pyramid intact is to keep stacking more pyramids on top of it. When one market weakens or clamps down, the only path forward is to chase a new one, so there's always fresh growth to offset churn. As Americans and Europeans slowly caught on that being a seller was nowhere near as easy as advertised, and that the same products sat on store shelves for less, Tupperware's sales force and business in the West began to slide. By the 2010s, 7 of every $10 came from the developing world, where regulation and scrutiny of MLMs were far weaker, and low employment made the pitch land even harder. Tupperware chased women in those countries and bent the brand to fit the local culture. In Indonesia, it hijacked social lottery clubs where women met to draw lots and got them to reframe Tupperware products as the jackpot. In India, it called sellers lifestyle consultants and taught them to frame their sales events as prestigious seminars on financial literacy and entrepreneurship, even though they were really just selling water bottles and containers. In Mexico and Brazil, where door-to-door selling
Why
had
do I
been
find it so
normalized for
weird that
generations, it elevated the
Indian
everyday
MLM
customer
was
to
literally
the
just selling
grand
water
spectacle,
bottles?
handing out jewelry, new cars, and
I don't know.
luxury
That's weird.
vacations at televised events to portray Tupperware as an escape for women trapped in low incomes and castes. Ultimately, when you run a pyramid of pyramids, every pyramid matters, no matter how small. It's why Tupperware refused to pull out of Venezuela during hyperinflation or Egypt during the Arab Spring. But by 2019, Tupperware had been disrupted on every front. The smartphone enabled better paying and simpler gig work with the advent of rideshare and food delivery. The sales force shrank year after year, and the cost structure turned lethal.
I don't know why it's so
Limited to
interesting that
variable cost.
like
When revenue
smartphone's
falls,
invention
selling costs
and then
fall.
jumping all the way to
But that does
rideshare.
nothing for the fixed overhead of factories, wholesale contracts, and the salaried corporate layer that manages every country. Tupperware was the worst of both worlds, operating as both an MLM and a product company. It couldn't fully outsource manufacturing because its lifetime warranty and quality promise was the last thing separating its core products from generic Walmart knockoffs. The company briefly recovered during COVID as the world was thrown back into the low information, under-retailed, isolated conditions where MLM businesses historically thrive in. Yet as society reopened, business once again dropped like a stone. Every underlying problem returned. The post-COVID generation valued time and freedom, and the old carrots of jewelry, trips, and career ladders no longer tempted them. At the same time, Tupperware could not keep up with what the market wanted. The category that the company had pioneered had been upended as consumers moved away from plastic and towards glass and stainless steel. Combined with a declining sales force and outdated sales channel, every pyramid crumbled one by one, and the company they held up.
I haven't used a stainless
Modern
steel
MLMs studied
food
Tupperware's
container.
flaws and engineered around them. No company did it more notoriously and successfully than Herbalife. Registered in the Cayman Islands, Herbalife started in the US in the 1980s, selling powdered protein shakes for weight loss. The product was nothing special, which is exactly why its founders went to MLM in the first place, relying on private in-person sales and invite-only recruitment seminars to push a product behind closed doors that lacked the science and brand power to earn a place on store shelves. Sellers waved before and after photos in high-pressure pitches and positioned the shakes as a dietary breakthrough. Naturally, its biggest market was Americans. By the 2000s, Herbalife faced Tupperware's exact pressures. Consumers were getting online, researching nutrition, and becoming better educated as supplement stores spread nationwide, stocking competing products.
Shirasan
Herbalife
says,
had also been charged
biggest
through the
market is
90s
Americans.
by the FDA, Canada,
Shirasan
and
says,
California over false
because they
medical
fat.
claims, where the company
It's all
found
because
guilty
of
teaching
Reagan.
sellers to close deals,
It's all because
promising customers that they
whatever
would get
president decided to
free
almost
with
die from a heart attack, he
But
ruined
while Tupperware
everything.
clung to its past, Herbalife reinvented itself for the modern age. It repositioned from weight loss to the broader, vaguer, legally safe umbrella of nutrition and wellness, and changed how the product was sold. Instead of
Imagine if they
$120
could have
tubs meant to
like
last
used
months, it
the
distilled the
cult
powder
of
into
MLM to
single
just get
serves,
everyone to
a tea,
fast.
an aloe shot, and a shake, sold as a combo for $8 to $10. This shift to high-frequency, low-commitment consumption
That would have made it a
dramatically
net
lowered the bar
positive.
for a sale and forced buyers into regular correspondence with their sellers. Every interaction was another chance for their seller to nudge them toward another purchase or toward becoming a seller themselves. Beneath it all, Herbalife ran an aggressive points system. Every product carried a fixed value, and the only way to unlock higher commissions and cheaper wholesale prices was to hit a monthly quota. This incentivized buying your way up, as sellers could spend thousands on inventory and stash it in their garage just to move up the ladder. Unlike Tupperware or a traditional business, where you earn commission only when a product reaches an end user, Herbalife sellers earned commission the moment their recruits ordered inventory from HQ. A recruit could trash the product or pile it in their garage, and the seller above them still profited, which pushed everyone climbing the ranks to keep pressuring the
Yeah,
runner
that's where
below
the horror
them to order
stories of
more,
people with like
regardless
tons
whether or not the
of
product
inventory in their
ultimately sold.
garages.
Yet
Makes
Herbalife's
sense.
real growth engine was its clubs. In the early 2000s, low-income communities in Mexico loved the product but couldn't afford a whole tub alone. Local sellers turned their living rooms into makeshift cafes, gathered the neighborhood, and split a freshly mixed shake into single servings for $2 to $3. It was the Tupperware party reborn, but with the new and critical addition of immediate communal consumption. A Tupperware party sold you a product to take home, A Herbalife club had you drink it on the spot.
Imagine one serving was just a
Drinking
little bit
Herbalife
poisoned.
became a daily social ritual where people high-fived and celebrated progress over drinks while the shared energy in the room fed the placebo. The only problem, like before, was scale. A living room could only hold so many people. Herbalife systematized it, pushing sellers in other countries to pool their own money for commercial spaces to dispense product, serve customers, host seminars, and store inventory. The company never put up a cent. It was the sellers who found the location, signed the lease, and split the rent, which only deepened their commitment to the Herbalife pyramid. Instead of one host pitching strangers in their living rooms, sellers rotated shifts to serve a constant stream of attendees in a professional commercial space. The venue was an all-in-one social hub, sales floor, recruitment center, and fulfillment warehouse. By the early 2010s, there were over 20,000 of these nutrition clubs in Mexico and thousands more in every major country, dispensing millions of shakes, teas, and shots to an army of regulars. At this point, Herbalife faced the same crossroads as Tupperware. The clubs were thriving, so why not take the obvious next step, put up signage, open the doors to the public, and turn them into proper juice bars and neighborhood cafes? If formalized as retail storefronts, these venues could capitalize on foot traffic and move far more volume than they did as these unbranded, invite-only neighborhood clubs. Yet Herbalife said no. Opening the doors to the public would break the entire pyramid because every sale needed to flow through a specific seller. To remain an MLM, Herbalife clubs are strictly forbidden from becoming stores. There's never any exterior signage, listings, advertising, and open windows. Entry is by invitation or referral only, and no one walking by would even know the club was there unless they were guided in. But there still needed to be some equal exchange of value so that sellers would keep funding and operating these venues out of pocket. So in return, Herbalife gave them legitimacy on the world stage. The company poured hundreds of millions into sports sponsorships to buy mainstream credibility, signing Cristiano Ronaldo as a brand ambassador, sponsoring FC Barcelona and a slew of other big clubs, becoming the longest-running jersey sponsor in MLS with LA Galaxy, and partnering with national Olympic teams around the world. Herbalife would spend nearly $1 billion on sponsorships over the next 20 years. The logic was simple. No one would trust an unbranded storefront with blocked windows, but they'd learn to recognize and trust the Herbalife name and brand if splashed across the chests of the world's biggest athletes. That association did all the advertising that the clubs were legally forbidden from doing themselves. Familiarity became a stand-in for legitimacy. Inside, sellers were taught to give wellness evaluations as icebreakers to steer vulnerable customers into purchases under the guise of personalized nutrition. There was no medical rigor, as most of these evaluations consisted of a simple weigh-in and a handwritten questionnaire. To first-timers, the clubs looked like cafes, but they were really sales floors and recruitment centers. Like Tupperware, Herbalife targeted communities that were communal, low-income, underemployed, yet motivated to move up. While Tupperware rode the 1950s suburban housewife, Herbalife rode the 21st century Latino. For them, soccer was a religion,
Then I would
and
give
the
it a
sponsorships
faint.
only deepened their trust in the brand. In American metros, Herbalife aggressively recruited Latinos who lacked the credentials,
Oh,
documentation, or English proficiency to enter the white-collar economy. Unlike corporate employers, Herbalife didn't check immigration status and offered a rare pathway to non-manual work for people who were stuck in low-end retail, restaurants, construction sites, farms, and factories. By the early 2010s, the overwhelming majority of the US pyramid was Latino. Across Asia, Herbalife chased unemployed youth, new grads, and part-time gym trainers, people with the physical credibility to sell a wellness brand.
Shirison
While
says,
Tupperware leaned on a
I
loose
love scam
calendar of
networks.
rallies and conventions, Herbalife took the psychology to the next level to convert
when you
recruits
need a
to
scam
motivated
network,
sellers.
just make sure to call
Creating
your
an escalating
Latino.
ladder of events, each
We'll
more
get it done.
exclusive than the last, and where access was gated by how much inventory a seller was willing to buy. Those at the bottom of the pyramid started with free public pitches held in hotel conference rooms and nutrition clubs. They watched before and after photos and heard testimonials from customers who swore by the product and top earners who swore by the business. The goal was to get attendees to sign up as sellers on the spot. New recruits were then funneled into monthly seminars, which were billed as essential product training, but in reality were meant to push participants to buy inventory on the spot. Above that was the Leadership Development Weekend, which was open only to the top performers who hit the monthly quota. These events were engineered to bring sellers to their most emotionally vulnerable state through hours of shouting, singing, crying, and clapping. And at the very top was the annual extravaganza,
Did it the
where
wrong
Herbalife packed
side.
an entire stadium with tens of thousands of sellers and brought on celebrities, dancers, pyrotechnics, and tearful speeches from the top sliver of earners who had quote-unquote made it. The best sellers were flown to luxury resorts and made to document every trip, so the dream always looked close enough to touch for the rows of sellers below them. The message at every event was identical. Anyone could get rich so long as they committed fully, bought inventory, and recruited relentlessly. Thus, while Tupperware's spectacle rewarded sellers for moving product, Herbalife rewarded sellers for buying it. With brand awareness handled, Herbalife moved to manufacture legitimacy for the products themselves. The company cut back on outsourcing and began building its own factories to claim ownership over quality and ingredients. It paid academics across the
Hear it
US
again.
and Europe to produce cherry-picked clinical studies asserting its products were superior to ordinary dieting. It bought the endorsement of a Nobel Prize-winning scientist for tens of millions of dollars and slapped his name, face, and credentials right on the label. These studies and scientists handed sellers an unassailable weapon against skeptics. By the mid-2010s, Herbalife was launching hundreds of products a year, tailored for every market like high-protein iced coffee for Americans, rice pudding flavors for Mexicans, dairy-free formulas for Europeans, and kulfi shakes for Indians. By 2015, the company had become the biggest MLM on the American stock market. What Herbalife got right was selling consumables where Tupperware sold durables. Herbalife made money shipping product to sellers. Tupperware only made money on the containers carried home by real customers. This distinction enabled Herbalife to sustain earnings along with the appearance of recurring demand, because sellers were incentivized to keep buying inventory regardless of whether or not anyone ever ingested the product. Tupperware had no such cushion. Its durables were one-time purchases built to last a lifetime. Herbalife's rapid growth, questionable accounting, and high-pressure sales tactics caught the attention of Pershing Square, one of Wall Street's most aggressive hedge funds. Bill Ackman was convinced that Herbalife was a pyramid scheme, one where revenue came from sellers hoarding inventory rather than from genuine consumer demand. His conviction ran so deep that he sank $1 billion into shorting the stock and spent tens of millions more funding private investigators, whistleblowers, and documentary filmmakers. He lobbied politicians, civil rights groups, and regulators to investigate. As we covered in the Chipotle video, burying companies in bad press was Ackman's MO, but with Herbalife he took it to an extreme, declaring on live television that he'd ride his short to the end of the earth, and that the only sane price for the company was zero. His entire position rested on the belief that the US government would agree with him, declare Herbalife as an illegal pyramid scheme, and shut down the company for good. No short seller in history had ever been so publicly and financially committed to the destruction of a single company. What Ackman was asking for was not unreasonable. The FTC had shut down companies in the past for being pyramid schemes like Equinox International and Trek Alliance in the 2000s. These were all small, private companies that operated at a fraction of the scale of Herbalife and didn't have the resources to survive the years of litigation. Yet the US government had never successfully taken down a big, established MLM. The last time they had tried was in 1979, and the FTC ended up losing. The courts found Amway innocent of being a pyramid scheme, but guilty of price fixing and misrepresentation, which were lesser charges that the company easily absorbed as slaps on the wrist. The FTC learned that once an MLM scales to millions of sellers, grosses billions in sales, and can afford armies of lawyers, the bar for proving a pyramid scheme becomes impossibly high. Herbalife would become the first major MLM in more than 30 years to face a federal pyramid investigation. Thus, Ackman's ask was reasonable, but his bet on a successful conviction was crazy as it depended entirely on something that the US government had never achieved in its history. Herbalife went on an immediate counteroffensive. Rather than wait for the government to decide, the company proactively rewired the very mechanics it was attacking. It rolled out generous buyer protections, offering first-time sellers a full refund on starter kits and memberships within 90 days, along with a 1-year money-back guarantee on all unsold inventory. With a return rate of just 1%, Herbalife argued it had disproved Ackman's assertion that poor people were losing their life savings on inventory they couldn't sell, because if that were true, they'd simply have sent it back. But Ackman's biggest argument was that Herbalife's products weren't actually landing in customers' hands. Because the business recognized inventory orders as revenue and made no distinction between retail and wholesale, he argued the company had no idea and no reason to care where shipments ended up, since everyone along that leg of the pyramid got paid. This was the literal definition of a pyramid scheme. Herbalife responded by building a direct
One thing I need to do is
website
clean up
for
this
every
ear a
seller,
little bit.
where customers could buy online and have it shipped straight to their homes. Since the seller never paid up front or touched these orders, the inventory loading accusation fell apart. How can you load inventory you never hold? The websites also undercut Ackman's claim that no rational customer would pay full retail. Yet here were customers doing exactly that online, with full freedom to price shop. What Ackman fundamentally underestimated was the cult-like core of MLMs. For all the millions Pershing Square spent on exposés, no mass exodus ever occurred. No spreadsheet can capture the psychology that holds a pyramid together. The social bonds between sellers and customers, the daily routines the products